Good morning, friends. The garden after rain is truly beautiful. In many places in Poland, everyone was waiting for the rain, and it finally came. And together with this rain, we are traveling through Polish gardens. And as part of the Wow Garden project, we have come again to Wielkopolska to see what has changed in Katarzyna's garden. Since there are already a lot of grasses blooming in this garden, and grasses really make up a large part of the plants, we want to tell you what to combine grasses with, how beautiful they look with other plants, and which grasses to use, for example, in shaded areas or in drier spots. Remember to also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And write in the comments whether you're on the grass team or if you prefer other plants. Hi Katarzyna, good morning. We were on our way to you and you kept texting that it was pouring, but it finally stopped raining and now we can admire your grass collection. Even though they're still covered with raindrops, they look great.
Yes, they're really weighed down by the rain now, aren't they? Because it wasn't just raining, it was a downpour. It
was a downpour, but it
was just such a downpour that 750 liters of water filled the barrel here. So that was in just one day. Actually,
a lot, but everyone was waiting for this rain though, yes?
Exactly, since it hadn't rained in a while. You know yourself.
Yeah, I know, because it's the same for me, but I'm wondering as I walk around, because when we were here the first time, you couldn't see that there was still so much grass. You can see the Hakonechloa and other plants starting to bloom along with the grasses and sedges. How many do you have in your garden? No.
I have no idea.
You don't know, but there are dozens.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I can't really count because it's a collection that's been gathered over a dozen years, right? So I've propagated it myself from small seedlings.
Maybe I should have walked around the garden once and counted, because it might be a big surprise. It could turn out that there are even 50 of those varieties.
No. It's possible.
It's possible, and of course we'll show you some of these varieties and tell you about them. Kasia told me here that she has great suggestions for shady places and dry spots, so I'm eager to find out too. And besides, we'll show you what goes well with these grasses. I believe this will inspire everyone.
Yes.
We are in a place where you actually have Hakonechloa grasses, which are a remnant of your garden in a style, let's say, inspired by Japanese style. Tell me, since they are very spectacular, how long have they been here? And do you replant them? What do you do with them that they look so great? Great.
I bought the first seedlings about a dozen years ago, just one pot of each variety. And I kept replanting. You know, those first years when they grew here and I replanted them in this spot, the first years they grow very slowly. They have to.
They need
time for the root, exactly. Later, once they've taken root, they start sending out rhizomes and grow very quickly. And
are you constantly dividing them?
Yes, I'm always cutting something and moving it to new places. And
here are 3 types: very green, intermediate, and striped, right? Right.
This year I also bought one that later gets red leaves.
Well, that's great, but
it doesn't have the red ones yet. They're expected at the end of the season.
More red. Tell me, according to your experience, what goes best with these Hakonechloa? What should be planted next to them?
Here they grow beside conifers, and as you can see, next to a Japanese maple.
But next to the maple, they really look very good. Yes.
Since they look just as good under the hydrangeas, right? But I also have them combined there in other places, for example, by the astrantia and also by the anemones mixed with other grasses.
Do they look good on plants that have bigger leaves?
Yes, with plants that have bigger leaves, but I also have coneflowers and hydrangeas on that side. And somewhere there, I mean the miniature hydrangeas, they also look good, not just the bigger ones.
So we could say that actually Hakonechloa fits with most plants and especially works well at the front of a flower bed, right?
Yes, and maybe it's worth mentioning that they do better in shady places, although the greener variety grows well in the sun. I also have it in full sun and it grows well there, but the golden ones, yes, they fade more in the sun, right? They become very faded. Okay.
So Hakonechloa is better for shade, and now we'll go see other grasses that have already started to bloom beautifully. Kasia, you'll tell us about this grass growing in this shadier corner in a moment, but we can't forget that you have fantastic plantings in pots, which we saw in the previous episode and here as well. Sedge and grass mix. Tell me, how long has this been growing here? Is this a combination that's already a few years old, or was it just recently made?
Millet, here we see millet. It's been growing since last year and it overwintered very well. Here is Verbena Bampton, which has been growing here in a pot for 3 years, because before there was verbena, then there was millet, and verbena self-seeds. And every year it comes back and looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful. It hangs over.
This sedge is from this year. This is a mix from this year, but I have pots over there growing since last year and they're doing great.
It doesn't freeze. That was actually my next question, whether they freeze or not, because with these sedges it's different in pots, but we're in Wielkopolska, so not every place in Poland has the same conditions. Look how fantastic this sedge looks. This two-colored, actually three-colored one, and it's so upright, beautiful, tall, just great.
Here is the sedge with the rose, and this rose bloomed beautifully. Yes, it bloomed beautifully. It'll only bloom for the second time now, but this is this year's bloom. The combination, so probably next year it will be quite
nice when this sedge is so overgrown, yes. We've finally come to your shady spot, among actually below the beautiful spruces, so tell us, what do you think works well here?
Yes, this is a shaded spot. There are maples here. As you said, the spruces give us shade. There's more sun in the front, but less here in the back. So I planted some luzula here as a test. Sedges used to grow here before, but the luzula, and they really did great, especially since it's very dry here because of the roots under the trees.
It's dry?
Yes, and I see that even when there were heat waves, absolutely nothing happened to them at all. There was no visible damage to them at all, and they really work great.
And what do you have them paired with here?
I paired them with sedges, with heucheras, with various others. Similarly, up front where there's more sun, I have coneflowers. There were lawns here before, mostly on the sunny side. Now, as you can see, there's fallen millet, but
they look really nice, actually.
Different.
The textures of this hairy grass, this sedge, and on top of that, the heuchera, which comes in different colors. So if someone has a shady spot like this, you can arrange a low flower bed just like this under the trees. In addition to the beautiful colors, the textures are lovely too.
But I also have to say that the sedge, the beetles, over there, I have it with Brunera, and it also does really well under the birch. It does very well.
The birch is quite a drinker.
Yes, and nothing happens to it at all. And in another spot, I also have it combined with hostas, and it looks nice there too.
So basically, these plants that we would think should grow in full sun, because grasses usually grow in sunny places, actually do really well in more shaded spots.
Yes, exactly, especially sedges, right?
It's the beginning of September. The grasses are already starting to bloom, and some have already finished blooming. Some tufted hair grass has already been cut, right? Just like that.
The stipas.
Right, well, stipas actually bloom in June. They're already starting. But right now, the Molinia grasses are putting on a huge show in the garden. Beautiful, transparent grasses. Molinia,
Yes.
You have various Molinia types, right? Yes.
Taller, shorter. Because we have a very wide range of Molinia varieties, right?
Even 2.5 meters, right?
Yes, that's one of the taller ones, right? And here it arches beautifully. They look wonderful in winter too, just like most grasses, even frosted.
A little bit, yes.
They add a sense of lightness here.
And they look best among perennials in your
opinion. Yes, best among perennials. Well, like I told you before, I like the combination with euphorbia. Well, with coneflowers, here we have loose strife.
We also have lovely verbena.
Yes, I just can't bring myself to cut it out because I still like it so much. Well,
I like it too, so I wouldn't cut it since those upright candles are beautiful.
When it bloomed in June, it's basically been blooming ever since. We also have miniature gaura here. They looked beautiful before they got knocked down by the rain because they filled this space so nicely and it was really beautiful. They'll probably stand up again once everything dries, but right now they're lying down a bit.
All right, and tell me, for what kind of locations do you recommend these Molinias the most?
Molinias are better for sunny areas, right? They don't thrive in shade. Here in the sun, they really show all their beauty.
More water or less?
I don't really water them much here, so generally speaking,
What they get is
Yes, they're doing well. They're not such heavy drinkers. So we have
Kari Forester, which can really reach 2.5 meters. We have smaller ones, more compact. You also have, as you mentioned earlier, transparent,
it's more laid down.
but even it is generally more like that. It has fewer of those inflorescences and it lies really well. What also captivated me is that sometimes you arrange these grasses by putting 2 or 3 together, and somewhere there's, for example, one big one, and it looks really great because with you there aren't such very, I think, symmetrical arrangements, not that much.
No, you won't find symmetry here. You won't find symmetry.
But that's a huge, I more
Try to make it natural, like how it grows elsewhere.
This is a huge art. It's an art to make something by human hand so that it still looks like it's from nature. It's spread somewhere around here.
Well, it's easy, but then you have to walk around and like, oh, it doesn't fit here. You have to move it somewhere else. And it's like that. You know that, right?
I know that. I definitely know that. We displayed grasses suited for smaller gardens since they were all about knee-high, or the flower heads grew a bit taller. And which grasses would you recommend if someone has a lot of space in their garden?
Obviously, miscanthus.
Miscanthus? Do you have some miscanthus in your garden?
There are fewer and fewer of them. Why? Well, because they used to take up a lot of space. Exactly. They're designed for large gardens or have been moved to the back.
and these varieties here, this one is Morning Light.
This is Morning Light, and it's a variety that doesn't bloom, which is an advantage for me.
Sometimes it blooms, sometimes.
It's not here yet, but last year it started producing spikes.
No, it has already bloomed twice. It started...
To put out spikes, but it never fully bloomed. That's why I like it. It doesn't droop as much in the fall rain or lay down on my flower beds. But it's already very big here.
So you could say that Morning Light is your favorite variety,
Well, it's not a big grass, but
right? Since it's not that big, is it?
it doesn't have thick leaves and is good for droughts due to its smaller leaf surface, right?
Evaporate as much.
Water, and that's why it copes much better.
It doesn't grow vertically, but rather spreads out to the sides. Yes, here.
It's already too much, but ready to be trimmed. Will likely start soon.
I've already trimmed mine 3 times. Well,
Yes, because it started as one variety, but it's now widely planted here from a single seedling, and we have many more now. And it will keep being planted.
I also wanted to remind you about those plantings in pots that Kasia showed us when we were here the first time. This is a dahlia growing in a pot. It's very rare for...
It was supposed to be miniature, W.
In this way, beautiful color and beautiful flower and beautiful color of the leaf. Harmony.
Melody.
Harmony, melody, and also a fantastic name. And I have the impression that she fits here with this Morning Light really as well as possible.
Yes, she did well in the pot.
Exactly, that's the most interesting thing. It's interesting that they do quite well in these pots.
Well, I have a dahlia in pots here, like right next to me and on the other side, and they're doing fine. Well, I didn't want to. I actually couldn't buy bigger dahlias here. I wanted to try growing dahlias. This is their first year with me.
Yes,
I decided to buy for the pots.
varieties. If you have a knack for plants, even in the first year, you can grow dahlias in such a beautiful way. Here,
There are 2 seedlings. Okay, there are 2 seedlings here. 2.
rhizomes. Rhizomes can also be of different sizes. We are standing in front of the entrance to the vegetable zone and your so-called sanatorium zone. Yes, yes.
Now, there are tomatoes growing there.
There are tomatoes growing, and even though this episode is about grasses, I still want to show you these tomatoes. Come on. Dasha, I really like gardens where wherever I look something amazes me, and it doesn't have to be very big or very blooming. Just like here. It's an episode about grasses, so yeah. Grasses combined with various leaves of different structures. What do we have here? Tell me.
Here we have lungwort with silvery leaves.
Those lance-shaped ones, yes.
Exactly, cushion-like. This is lamb's ear.
It has a porcelain-like structure. It's so smooth, nice.
You can see how the raindrops have settled on them here. And here is Stachys byzantina, which doesn't look as good now since it's the wrong season, but still. I was really delighted by this combination this year. I mean, it happened by accident, but I really like this spot. That these lime-colored grass leaves together with this silvery color and
these textures, right? Yes, the combination
of different textures. Here
we have a woolly one, and over there is another like it. Grasses.
Add a certain lightness, yes. The leaves here are a bit heavier.
Do you still have Cecleria?
Yes, there are different Cecilarias here, including those rock Cecilarias over there.
And Hucheras.
There are Hoteras here and ferns in the back, right? This area used to have many hellebores.
Grows. And that's exactly a way to make use of places that sometimes seem not very attractive at first glance because, for example, they are a bit under the trees. Maybe not fully shaded, but also not in direct sun. This mix really works here.
Before, there used to be a really big miscanthus growing here, which was given away to good hands in the fall. Removed, good hands. It was given away, that's all.
And in return, we have this fantastic flower bed with various structures. So many grasses in the garden, you would think it's a simple thing. But these grasses need to be trimmed at some point. When do you cut these grasses?
I let my husband handle that since he enjoys it.
He really enjoys doing it?
Yes, he enjoys doing it.
And when does he actually start?
He starts already in January. He starts already in January when there are drier days. And that's when the equipment will work perfectly.
Equipment from NAG company, I see it has already been tried. Something was cut.
The thuja trees have already been trimmed by my husband.
It works well with the thuja trees too, but I think it will be perfect for grasses.
It'll be perfect, especially for miscanthus, right? Miscanthus are dense and sedges, not sedges, but
Feathergrass. Feathergrass, exactly. They're usually tough to handle, right?
yes, that will be perfect.
It will easily reach every spot because the blade is quite long, so even bigger specimens can be handled.
Yes, it can easily cut our miscanthus.
We're keeping our fingers crossed for him because I know what it's like to work with cutting grasses. And where will it
all be put away, right? Because
I have to cut it myself at home, so I'm hoping for the best for him.
me too.
When it comes to three-dimensionality in flower beds, in my opinion, there's a corner of your garden where you can really see that three-dimensionality the most, even though it's not really high here, right? But the plants are chosen in such a way that you can really see the space. What do you have here? There are also grasses and sedges here.
Yes, there are tufted hair grasses here because the front gets more sun. Then I have hairy sedges over there. They are here in the garden from self-seeding. They sow themselves. Really great grasses. Then, as we go further, there are more grasses that handle shade better. Here's millet. It grows well in shade and isn't affected. And then we have a combination with perennials. These are bruneras. Next, there are hostas and hucheras. I planted some white roses here too. They look beautiful when they bloom. But
these structures are usually leaves and traps, for example. Here's a lily of the valley, which also looks nice because it also has a beautiful color. And it also has that leaf structure that's really shiny, a bit porcelain-like. Yes?
I have more lily of the valley in my garden, all divided and propagated from one seedling.
For me, it doesn't work at all, to put it bluntly, because it grows but it doesn't bloom. And that's a great thing. And I also have a question for you. Do you even create places in your flower beds where there are different structures and various heights? And it's not necessarily the case that what's tall is always in the back, because sometimes, like here in this bed, something is in the front because it suits the sunny conditions better. It really looks good, so if you don't do it, here's a suggestion to introduce it somewhere in your garden. Exactly these kinds of structures in your flower beds. Acacia finally got some sunshine today because it rained all morning and does.
Yes, it came out for a moment.
Since I have a challenge from you to make a bouquet for $0, will I see grasses among your suggestions?
No, there will be grasses too, but I have a special vase for you to use for the bouquet.
I can't wait to see you. Let's go to the place where we'll make the bouquet.
Yes.
The place to make the bouquet is already prepared. I see that you're ready too.
Yes, I have a special container for you here.
A container?
Yes, it is still.
I don't see the container yet, but
There will be a container. I think we'll prepare it properly and it will be a container. I wanted to make a kind of practical bouquet for someone close to me. I wanted to give it as a gift.
so it will be. So you'll see how you can do it for zero money. Although no, you probably had to buy something, right?
Yes.
Yes, to make such a bouquet as a gift already. Yes.
We'll take a sponge here, we'll put it in.
Yes, I'll start hollowing it out because we need to hollow it out and put in the sponge. And Kasia will start cutting the plants. I'm really curious what she'll bring me.
Functional.
Functional, yeah. So,
Something for later. Yeah.
all right, maybe there will be something else to eat.
Yes, food will be available. No.
I can't wait. Let's get to work. I've never had a challenge like this before. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. They're heavy. So let's see if I can put them in. But besides these tomatoes, you've brought me a whole lot of plants here.
Yes, you don't have to use them all because...
The pumpkin is ready. I put a soaked sponge inside it. I hollowed it out, of course. There's still a bit of foil sticking out here, but that's how it's supposed to be, so that it covers a little bit here and doesn't get this pumpkin dirty. Well, I think you picked such great plants that I won't add anything else. I'll just start working. Unless
Something comes up along the way.
something happens, watch out.
A bee from...
A bumblebee. It should be practical. So what? We have tomatoes, we have basil, yes.
Tomatoes, basil.
We have a bumblebee.
And we have peppers and...
We have peppers. We'll put the peppers on toothpicks later. Now we need to think about how to make this shape. I think it should be more irregular than regular because we have various interesting plants here. Tell me, speaking of plants, do you have any plan to plant any new plants in the garden? More, or are you done? You're finished planting and brainstorming.
New plants are always useful.
You just need to...
Find a place for them. You need to find a place since the garden can't stretch forever, you know?
There's always something, isn't there?
There will always be some wishes, yes, exactly.
Those wishes often arise in winter when you spend more time sitting around.
Exactly, that's what I think. That in winter, the most ideas are always born. Besides, I know because viewers most often watch gardening videos at the end of winter, like in February or March. And since we're already talking about these plans, maybe you could also say, did you have any problems in the garden this year? Or not really? Did anything surprise you?
No, the biggest problem was the drought. Despite everything, today is the first rainy day, along with yesterday, in about a month, right?
And the plants took a beating, so to speak.
Yes, they did. But a lot of plants managed to survive, and those kinds of plants,
they're kind of much better suited for planting then, right? Right. Let's display it here, nicely curved.
the helichrysums are doing fine. Oh yes, helichrysums are great. They don't even notice the drought at all.
They don't know.
Because they like it. No, they don't notice.
They like the drought, and
They survived the winter for me. They were pruned very short in spring.
they grew beautifully. Besides these plants straight from the garden, you also have potted plants here, right? So what do we have here? Begonias. Begonia leaves, they look beautiful. They'll give us a nice shape here, really show off the form. Most importantly, the color. An amazing color from those begonias.
Yes, it has red flowers.
Oh, I'm really going to bring a lot of plants here, so I'll try to use every one of them here. But maybe not all of them in terms of quantity. All right, hydrangea will fill this space for us here because it's a large plant that needs to fill this space. I also have some peppers because peppers are a practical choice.
And now stick them onto toothpicks.
Please, can you stick them onto toothpicks for me?
Are these still begonia leaves?
Yes, they are. I'll take another begonia leaf. Here we have...
Also about these dark leaves.
Great. It'll repeat the color for me now.
I don't know how tall it should be or if I need to break it.
I'll cut it myself. Look how cool it looks. Beautiful. We repeat the shapes, we lay them out. Even without color, see how it looks. Great. Yeah,
The begonia really does the job here. Yes.
the begonia does the job, but also dahlia, right? What's this? What else did you cut?
What else did I cut here?
Basil.
There are also agastaches. Here's status. It'll likely fill in well at the end, right?
Yes. I'll add the status at the end. Here.
The coneflowers have faded, but I removed their petals. They look so beautiful.
Let's add one more.
I can add more of them because here we have...
Next to it. Now here we have... Okay, that'll do. Here you go.
They look really nice, don't they?
The pepper is next to the tomatoes, but...
Here it stood out. We ended up with a mess.
It did.
I should put it this way, right?
Probably, but we'll manage here. Thanks. We'll use the smaller one. Now from the other side. Even some tomato got in.
The tomato can stay, but the flowers... And a third one just in case? Great.
Do you ever make bouquets from your own garden?
Yes, I make them myself, but only when there are many bulbs or tulips. And then in July, when a lot of flowers appear, I make a lot of them too. And now it's that time when in the garden, at least in mine, because probably now...
It's different in different gardens, yes.
But in my garden there are dahlias now, which I also cut.
Well, dahlias generally need to be cut because if you don't cut them, they won't keep blooming, right? Yes. So this is the time when you should cut dahlias because then they will bloom again.
But I cut a lot of tulips because I like tulips in a vase, and that's...
You cut them at just the right time when they're still like...
in bud.
In bud, yeah.
Sometimes a variety ends up being the wrong color and doesn't match my arrangements, so I just put it in a vase instead.
I understand. And next time already it won't show up in the flower bed.
Or it will show up somewhere over there.
In another place, yes?
Oh, be careful here, because a bee came to feed itself.
It came to feed itself, right? I need to flip a few things over to see what it looks like from the other side.
From the other side of the tomato, right?
The tomato, yes?
Probably.
Just a big one. That tomato is big. I mean, it has a lot of tomatoes and it's heavy.
We'll eat the rest later.
For the salad.
That's just for a quick bite.
All right. It looks beautiful. Will it still hold?
Well, let's hope it will hold. Unless I place something beneath it.
Well, maybe we'll put something there. We'll think about it in a moment.
Basilia has lovely flowers, right?
Yeah, Basilia. It's cool, but you have a beautiful white variety of this here.
Rozwodnika, rozwodnika. I think we only have one and need more.
We'll get it in a moment, but it already looks great here. And now the question was,
Yes, what should we use and what shouldn't? What about...
well, what to use, what not to use. I'll gladly use it, no problem, because it really looks very good.
Up there, unfortunately, there was little blooming, you know. I would have picked more, but that's...
It'll be fine.
Sadly, the rain knocked down all the petals.
It'll be fine, and we still have the bud layer.
Whether we use it or not, we need to know now.
You know what?
Look at these beautiful spikelets.
Oh, these are more like spikelets. More like spikelets, but
They're already wilting, but that's...
Dahlias, I think less so, since the spikelets are nice for us. There's no...
problem.
They'll fill it in.
An extra bouquet will be available after hours.
The foxtails will give us a nice touch. Look, a slightly taller form.
I'll pick up what's not needed for now, probably more later.
Look at these foxtails and this basil. I think they're...
Also still foxtails, you know? Here are the foxtails.
That's right, okay. Oh,
Sorry, here are some like these.
kosovce are awesome.
And they will also add fragrance,
Myszkowa? Probably not anise-like, anise-like.
anise, and some lemon. Here's the lemon. I also bought miniature agastache and then a miniature... It was small the first year, but self-seeded and grew taller in later years. It died in winter, but self-seeded and grew taller.
All right, now then.
Now we have... Okay, I don't know if we still need another hydrangea down there.
I'll check in a moment. Yeah, we'll take a look, turn it around and see how it looks. Now, let's fill it with limonium. Do we have any? Yes. Because limonium will fit here. Are you sure? And? It needs grass. So Hakonechloa, right?
I took some reed grass, but I'm not sure it'll work.
Be needed. We'll see.
The short-haired one, right? But I think he's too big.
Too big, right? But Hakonechloa will look great because it will give us some space here. So I would add it here. More. And I'm adding limonium, and in a moment we'll have the finale. The arrangement is done. It wasn't easy, but why?
Because there were tomatoes which were heavy.
Yes, there were tomatoes that were on very large stems. They were heavy, so it wasn't easy, but we managed. Do you like the composition? Very much.
Very much. It's really beautiful. So completely different. Something totally different.
Do you like it, Kasia? What about you? Tell us in the comments. I thank you very much that we could... Thank you, dear.
For the visit.
To see your garden here again. And I invite you to the next episode of the Wow Garden Project.